What's going on, guys? I am Simple Simon. I'm your comic book noob. Welcome to the Noob Rebirth. Say hi, Mark. Hi, Mark! Alright, so on today's episode, we're gonna go back to a simpler time. A time when there was a thing called Wizard Magazine! Wizard Magazine. So it's gonna be a bit of nostalgia today. Oops, sorry, that's Mark's book. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Let's do this. Alright, so once again today we have the not so simple Simon, Madspidey, joining us.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Alright, so we were going to talk about Wizard. Obviously you guys are both around. Now, for you guys who don't know, I am a comic book noob, but I did collect comics when I was a teenager, and I did have some Wizard magazines. Mark's actually got some here for us to look at, but I guess what I want to talk about is just going back to that, because I don't really remember a lot about those days, and you guys obviously do, because you guys never stopped loving it. So tell me, do you guys remember when it sort of first came out and stuff like that?
Probably not first came out, but I remember they actually were very hard to find.
Really?
Mainly because most newsagents wouldn't import them, because they were, I think, like a $15 or a $20 book or something back in the day.
But I bought them from the news, like I knew you back then.
Yeah.
And I used to buy them from the Jackson Core newsagent.
Yeah, so it's funny, I might have gone to maybe Tunstall Square or something like that, to a different one. But yeah, I used to find them hard to find. I used to pick them up at the comic shop sometimes and things like that. But it was the ultimate guide back then to comic books.
And how excited would you get, like, I guess when there was a new one out? Because they've got great covers and things like that.
Yeah, even interviews, you know, top 10 lists of current writers, current artists, you know, you're like, oh, you know, this guy, I've heard of this guy, and things like that. And like, it was actually really informative back in the day. One
thing I remember specifically about some of the Wizard mags I bought was they would come with a little collectible card. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, man, they come bagged. Yeah, so the magazines would come bagged and they would have a card. 100%, or sometimes Wizard used to release comic books with them. You know, like, I remember I've got a later Wolverine Half, or Wolverine Zero, or you know, stuff like that, which I've still got.
There's actually a Wizard, I think, comic book that I recently bought slabbed, just because it was cheap and I had a sick cover. Dark Child.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, bloody hell. They did a movie of that.
Oh really?
A TV show or something back in the same time they were doing. Remember?
It was actually
Witchblade. Remember they did a Witchblade?
Yeah.
Remember they did a Witchblade TV show?
Was it horrible?
Yeah, so it was around about the same time they made a movie as well. Of what was it?
Dark Child.
Dark Child. Yeah.
Was it terrible?
Yes.
One of the things I specifically remember having from the Wizard mags was, as far as the trading cards go, I remember I got a Lady Death, but I remember it was like a chrome card, and I remember when I got back into comics like a couple of years ago, I saw that card and it was a magazine. I mean, so it was a comic book cover, and I had to have it. I was like, I remember it specifically from a kid. Is there anything you guys remember specifically from when you guys were getting Wizard?
I never used to really buy Wizard unless I had a card or a special book.
Only they had posters as well.
Posters in the middle, yeah, they would have posters. They've probably got posters in the middle as well. Some of them, maybe not. Who knows? And then every year they do like the Wizard poster book. And they were awesome because they were poster books on everything.
Oh, they used to have calendars as well.
Not a lot of DC stuff. Well, a lot of Marvel and Image stuff though.
Because Image was massive back then.
Dark Horse, yeah, I've got so many of those still, and I've got them upstairs too, in folders.
Yeah, so was there anything specifically that you remember, like, I don't know, a specific interview or anything that you guys are pumped for?
It was more the factor of that it was the guide to, you know, what things were worth, things are coming out. Because there was no internet back then.
No internet.
So it was either that or the Overstreet guide or the Beckett's guide.
Yeah, so they actually, yeah, you can see there's a price guide back there.
Oh, the internet back then, Google was, you had Internet Explorer and then the alternative was Netscape, and they were both crap. And then Google comes along and it's like, holy moly, you know, like this is amazing, right? And then, and basically, but back then, internet was more for chat boards.
Yeah,
chat rooms.
Internet relay chat, that was my thing.
Yeah, internet relay chat, that's right. I was a big fan of Cafe Chrome, it was called. And I made friends, and I'm still friends with them to this day.
I made some
because I'm old.
To that. I started a channel called For the Punks.
Of course you did.
So there's no specific like interview, because for that, I think back then that didn't interest me as much. Like I didn't care about the artists and writers and stuff back then. But I've probably always been into that stuff.
Yeah, more for the artist up and coming, who's the top 10.
I bought it more for the imagery, 100%.
Yes,
articles.
it was
like
a
Playboy.
visual.
So for me, it was like Playboy. You buy it for the pictures, not for the articles.
Like Playboy.
But that was me. I was more into the the characters, less the creative.
Yeah. I think that's what most comic people are getting into comics. I imagine
Early on, of course, that's 100%, 100% escapism. Whereas now, obviously, it's different. You mature, and I don't go for the characters as much.
Oh mate, the ads in this are incredible.
Whereas this guy's still a noob in the comic books, and he just goes for the characters, stuff the creators.
Yeah, stuff the creators. I like a good artist.
Mate. What? Say that again.
I like a good artist.
No, go back.
What did I say? Yeah, stuff the creators.
Stuff the creators. That's what you said.
Oh, sorry.
Is that what he said?
I cut it.
Without the creators, we wouldn't have this industry, mate. So, say sorry.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So,
At the bottom of my heart, I apologise, people and comic fans abroad. You were mentioning, Mark, that when Wizard blew up, it really helped Image or something like that?
Oh, 100%. Like, just to get their art out there. If you're seeing this imagery on the covers, and that's what was, that's what made Image so good as well. And back then, even Marvel, what you saw on the cover was the art on the inside.
Yeah.
And so if Image, if you see this stuff on the covers, that's what you're going to get on the inside. And it was a good promotion. It was a good promotion for the book. 100%. And then you had like stuff like ads like this, action figure ads. You know what I mean? That you said, oh my god, there's Star Trek action figures. You go out hunting them. So, but then Wizard had another. Then from being this, like a comic book magazine, and then you had like a Wizard toy magazine. Then you had Wizard. And then,
Oh really? They had
100%. And models. They had a modeling one.
Same sort of thing, but yeah, just based on toys instead of comics.
Correct.
But all comic or collectible type toys and things like that. And obviously us in Australia, we didn't really have the internet back then that much. So this was one of our only sources of information.
I guess one thing was I used to always see like the ads in comic books when I was a kid and stuff. And for me, I didn't think it was something that we bothered. I didn't think you could get that stuff down here. But could you actually get that stuff?
You had to set it off.
Look,
And that's where if you buy some of the older comics, you'll actually see like coupons and things like that actually cut out of comics.
Yeah.
Because kids used to send them away, to get the toys and the little collectible type things and stuff like that, and little gadgets, and that's the way you could only sort of get them.
So when did Wizard, like obviously I know Mark, I think told me a while ago, internet killed Wizard, right? Like when the internet became what it is, or started to become what it is today.
Pretty much.
It was the end of Wizard. Do you know when that was roughly? Like, do you remember? And was it a sad day?
Was it a sad day?
And was it a sad day in the history of comic books? The day Wizard magazine went away?
It was a gradual thing, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
It was a gradual thing. It's just like they didn't make an announcement saying it's ending. It was one day.
One day you're like, what happened to Wizard magazine?
100%. It was exactly like that. That's exactly what it was like. What happened to that magazine? It was so good, and I used to look forward to the poster book. I love that poster book, and they had, and they were great. Cover art or poster art characters. Wolverine. A lot of Wolverine stuff. There's always a good Wolverine poster. In there, and good, Gen 13 poster, and good Hulk, and good Captain America posters. It's really good posters done by the artists who do the books. All of a sudden, it just disappeared. And going, what happened to that magazine? I still love that magazine. You know what the saying goes. I reckon if they brought that back, I think a lot of people will be interested.
Magazines, like I actually bought magazines even up until like not that long ago. I feel like now I just couldn't even imagine buying a magazine. But I used to buy all kinds of like when I was into like martial arts magazines and just all kinds of magazines. But I can't imagine doing it anymore.
Litz magazine. I remember that, the martial arts magazine.
Yeah, I used to be all into that, and like ones with just hot alternative tattooed babes and stuff like that. I'd be all about those type of magazines. I guess what I'll finish off with is these days, I guess what's taken over is kind of like the preview mags, DC when DC had it, and the Marvel things.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of taken over from it, yeah? So when Wizard sort of went away, have comic book shops always had this sort of stuff as well? Like the...
Yes, I know what's-it-called has had it. Comics R Us used to have it.
I think Minotaur used to have it back in the day as well.
Yeah, Minotaur had a wall of magazines. They had the movie ones, the horror ones. Minotaur is a great store for the cult following, you know, like comic books, movies, and all that. It was great, and you know, it was one of the best sources. I remember being there during the Gulf War. I remember they had TVs on the stair level, the staircase. They had TVs on every stair level. You know, you walk around the stairs, there's a TV, and I remember people highlighting watching the TV at the announcement of the Gulf War.
I just remember this one memory of Minotaur. I was approaching the entrance, and this chick literally steps out of the entrance and spewed right in the doorway. And then we had to be like this to get into the show. It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting in the 90s.
Disgusting. Like you haven't seen anyone spew before.
I was a kid back then.
Would have been funny.
Alright, that's all we got for you today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thanks for joining us again, mate. It's been fun having you for the last couple of weeks.
Thanks for having me.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. And again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment to let us know your memories on Wizard Magazine. Say bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Keep it simple. Alright, so I go click, click, you spin. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2. What's going on, guys? I am Simple Simon. I'm your comic book noob. Welcome to the NOOB Rebirth. You can't be laughing, man. Just picks up everything.
Yeah, I'll go for a smoke while you're doing that. So I stop laughing.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.